Good Thursday morning to you. Eastern PA with Authority Meteorologist Bobby Martrich, and this is your outlook for April 2nd, 2015. And thank goodness April Fool's Day was over. I got caught about 10 times yesterday, and it's one day of the year I'm not looking forward to. I'm very gullible, I'll tell you. Okay, so we're moving on to April 2nd. It's going to definitely feel like April today. Actually going to feel like a little bit later in April here, because we're going to have temperatures here that are going to be above normal, and we're talking about temperatures here in many areas in the low to mid 60s. Actually, most areas closer to the middle 60s, and that's all in large part due to this high pressure here. This was sitting right over top of our area here on Wednesday, has now shifted off the southeastern U.S. coastline, or actually off the eastern seaboard. It's heading down in this direction here. Return flow around this high pressure course is clockwise, and that's going to allow these southwesterly winds to pick up. It will become a little bit more breezy today. With this approaching cold front, there's a system. It's off the map. It's actually up in this direction right here, just north of Lake Superior here. It's going to have a cold front that's going to come through our area here on Friday, but out ahead of it, of course, that's going to promote southwesterly winds as well. So you got kind of a 1-2 punch here of what's going to bring in this warmth here. That's going to actually be holding for the day on Friday as far as temperatures, but we're going to be dealing with some rain here as we move in later in the day. Now we're going to get into Thursday. This is late evening. I think everything, for the most part, stays off to the west of our coverage area here. Have some increasing clouds, I think, but you might have some increasing clouds and showers starting to move out ahead of this cold front. And you can see that right now where the cold front is. It's very, very easy to see what this is. Okay, and it's attached to low pressure, which is up over southeastern Canada at this point. So as this cold front is moving eastward, we're going to have rain move out ahead of it. I think most of this starts after midnight. Wouldn't be surprised to see some stuff out ahead of it here a little bit earlier than midnight. But for the most part, this is an after midnight deal. We're expecting increasing clouds to start already here on Thursday evening, and that's going to thicken as we go into the late evening hours, and then rain we expect after midnight. Probably better chances of that west than east to see that sooner. Okay, and this is going to go through the night here. As we get into Friday morning here, we're going to still have this frontal boundary kind of situated to the south here. It's going to be taking its time going through, not really wanting to move through here. Cold frontal boundary just kind of sitting here. And they're going to have these impulses that are going to move along. This is actually going to become pretty strong here and cut right across Pennsylvania here, and you'll see that in the subsequent frames here. It's going to increase in intensity, cutting right across the state, sitting right over maybe Hagerstown, Maryland at this point, somewhere around there, and then next frame it's up by New York City. So you can see that it's an intensifying area, low pressure, but not rapidly. So we're kind of going, just going to take it up here in this direction like this, and it will then continue up here into the Gulf of Maine. Before it does so, it's going to drop some rain. Some embedded thunderstorms are possible here on Friday. This is actually looking at Friday night overnight at this point. And then we go a little bit further. Not impossible to see early Saturday morning, and I'm talking about wee hours in the morning, Saturday morning here. Not impossible to see a few flakes here at the end. This would be for very far northern areas of the northern Poconos, all over to, let's call it Williamsport, Bradford County, Tioga County, places like that. Places north of State College. This is areas we could see some flakes here at the tail end as this thing wraps up here in the Gulf of Maine, and then you have this wraparound coming around the system here, around this area of low pressure. So wouldn't be surprised to see that as temperatures are crashing behind that. And then Saturday we're going to have a windy day, especially early on. I think the earlier on in the day is going to be the windier. That's because you have a tight pressure gradient here between incoming high pressure here, moving into the Ohio Valley, and of course this very strong exiting low pressure here. So this the pressure gradient between the two is created, and that is allowing for the windy conditions, especially earlier in the day on Saturday. So we'll just keep in mind it will be a breezy day, probably struggling to get out of the 40s in many locations, and then we go right back into on Sunday we go back into the 50s as you have high pressure moving off to the south here. GFS is trying to do something with like a backdoor cold front here. It's trying to drop down here from the north. We'll keep an eye on that, but I really don't think that's going to be a big deal for our area. Might just have to watch the northern sections here for a shower or something like that, but this is definitely a backdoor cold front boundary that it's showing here. maybe some snow across New York, north of the state here. We'll keep an eye on it just in case, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal regardless. Everywhere else should be just fine on Sunday. We haven't even included that in the forecast, in the local forecast for East Central PA or points south. So again, just something we'll keep an eye on just in case. But it does look like our next chance of legitimate precipitation from a synoptic system is going to come in here probably on Tuesday. We're looking at another frontal boundary moving in here. This would be later Tuesday with another frontal boundary and associated area low pressure that could bring us some rain in that time frame. Probably later in the day on Tuesday. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martridge, and that is your outlook for April 2nd, 2015. Have a great Thursday.